Hey everyone, and Happy New Year. I have a lot of wish list plants, but I narrowed it down to about 10. And I have never made a plant wish list before. I usually just go out and I buy whatever I like, or I don't really think too much about it. So I thought it would be fun to make a wish list for 2023. And I do, and I have 10 plants. So I thought I would walk you all through what my top 10 wish list plants are for this year. So I'm on my iPad because I want to be able to look at the plants as I'm talking to them. These 10 plants are in no particular order, so I'm going to kind of just go through them as I wrote them. So the first on my list I have here is Hoya Prism. So I recently came across this plant and I've recently been super into Hoya, and this plant is just gorgeous. Here, let me pull it up. Yeah, so I'm looking at this plant right now and holy moly, it's just so pretty. The variegation on it is just so splotchy and blotted, and I feel like it looks different than the way most Hoya or variegated Hoya look. It almost has a margin, but then also just this splotchy messiness about it. And I just think it's so cool. It looks like it can get sun stressed and get a little bit pinky too. And I think it's just so beautiful. I think this is fairly pricey to get even just a cutting, so I don't know if it's going to go down in this year at all, or if it's even going to be feasible for me to get. If it stays at the price it's currently at, probably not, but that's okay. It's okay to dream. It's just so pretty and gorgeous and very unique. I also really love the leaf size. So the leaf size and shape, it's pretty small and this small little oval. And I originally had just seen the regular one, the non-variegated one, which I think I would love to have as well. And I was looking more into that one, and that's when I came across this version, the variegated. And also the name of it's just cool, Hoya Prism. I don't know, I think it's really awesome. But yeah, that's number 1 on my list. I don't even know, I wonder what the blooms look like. I don't see any pictures here with blooms, but yeah, just a gorgeous plant. All right, and then next on my list is another, I'm realizing a lot of these are probably way out of my price range and just, they're probably not feasible. But the next one on my list is a Philodendron Silver Sword variegated. Now these plants are gorgeous. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I mean, I think silver swords are gorgeous also, and I really want a silver sword in my collection. But then when I saw there was a variegated version, I was like, whoa, I really want that. I just love variegated plants. If you haven't been able to tell, I really just love them. And the variegation on this, I love it so much because it's almost like a muted yellow is the variegated portion, and it looks so gorgeous, and it's still super silvery. It almost looks like it has a filter, all these pictures have a filter on it, but they don't. I might end up I guess I would lump in a silver sword. If I saw a silver sword, a good one, I might get that too. I have seen those at the stores, but now that I know there's a variegated one, with the little amount of space I have, I'm like, I think I'm gonna hold out until I find a variegated one. But I don't know, I might give in and just get the regular one because they're so pretty. And I kind of like the shape of them when they're less mature more than when they're mature. I don't know, maybe I just haven't seen a good, is there a mature variegated one on here? Okay, no, the mature ones are gorgeous too. So yeah, that's number 2 on my wish list. All right. Oh, number 3 on my wish list. I would probably choose this one out of any on my wish list right now because it's so pretty, and I haven't seen anyone talking about it. It is and maybe I'm just living under a rock, who knows, but Anthurium SP Silver Peru. Oh my freaking goodness, this plant looks like, I don't know, it looks like someone manufactured it. It just is too pretty. Alrighty, so here it is. I don't think there's too many photos of it up on Instagram, but my goodness, it's gorgeous. I love the shape of it too, just like the sinus. Like obviously the color is probably what pulls me into it most, but the shape of it is also enjoyable too. It's got kind of some definition to it. It's a little bit, you can like bubbly, I don't know. It's got a little bit of abs. I don't know how to say it, but the color is just so pretty. And I don't think I've seen any other Anthurium with this color. Oh, and I've seen somewhere, I don't know if it's a sun's dressing or with a new leaf, it looks like there's like a red margin or it's like pinky. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I would be ecstatic. I don't even know how much this one is. I think I looked it up once and it was like way out of my budget. So I think this is still completely out of my budget. I probably won't get it anytime soon, but holy moly, this is such a pretty plant. I am obsessed with it. I might cry if I was to get this plant at some point, but it's just beautiful. Oh, this plant. I'm pretty sure I saw this, I don't know, was this Unplant Parenthood who had this? I don't even know what this plant is. Singhia leucotricha. So it looks almost like a succulent. I don't know exactly what family it falls into, but it's this very, very fuzzy white, like jade white color. It's like a very pale jade color. But it's the most fuzzy plant I've really seen, and I've only seen it with like a couple leaves. It doesn't look like it gets too crazy. And the flowers are this like fuzzy, bright, orangey, pinkish color, and they're long. They're so gorgeous. This person has a pretty bushy one actually, but I just want to be able to feel it. I love fuzzy plants. I love plants with like fuzzy leaves that are super soft, and this just looks like the leaves would be so soft. I feel like it is on the verge of being too hairy maybe, or too fuzzy for some people, because it might get to the point where it's more creepy than cute, but I think it's adorable and just beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen this plant at a plant store. I have no idea how much these go for. I have not tried to get one very hard. I don't know if they're hard to get, but they're just so pretty. And they're just like, I'm noticing a lot of these plants are like a silvery bluish color, so this falls into that category too, and it's so pretty and so cute. Okay, next on my wish list, I don't even know what number we're on, but like I said, the numbers don't matter, so who cares? It's another Anthurium. I love Anthurium. I still love Anthurium, even though I'm kind of on a Hoya craze right now. Anthurium mudinum. And I don't really hear people talking about this one either, but it has some of the darkest looking leaves I've seen. I mean, I haven't seen it in real life. This is only Instagram. All these are kind of Instagram, Pinterest. I found them. So, you know, real life can always be a little bit different, but these leaves are so dark and they're shiny and they're textured, and they also like sometimes look like this brown, chocolatey brown. They just look so freaking gorgeous. I don't think I've seen this one being sold on Equigenera either, so I don't know if this is a hybrid or one that's a newer Anthurium to the Anthurium world. But I think it is so gorgeous. I would love to have this in my collection. I really love Anthurium, and I'm just imagining like if this was to be crossed or with other plants, like if you could just pick any Anthurium, just make it darker. Like I wonder if that would work if you crossed it with this plant. But my gosh, it is so dark. It's basically black. At least that's what the pictures are letting on. And look, it has a red petiole. It's just, I do notice some where maybe the baby leaves are greener, so maybe the darkness fades or something, but yeah, it looks like when it first emerges, it's like more red or a chocolatey red. So yeah, it's beautiful. Even if it didn't stay as dark, if you know, as some of these pictures are showing, I would be okay with that. But yeah, so pretty. Another one of my wish list plants this week, oh, my foot's asleep, is Peperomia ruby cascade. I think this is a more common plant, so I don't think that this has a crazy price tag on it or anything. I've never seen it at, you know, any of the big box stores, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it there, or if you've seen it there. But this is such a delicate, almost reminds me of String of Hearts. It just looks very delicate, and it's very just, I don't know, it just looks gorgeous. And I love the contrast of like the green leaf with the red back and like almost red vine. I wonder if the new growth is red vine or if the whole vine is red, but so pretty. I've seen people with like big baskets of these, and I feel like it's a very underrated plant. I think people know about it, but I'm surprised more people don't have it, or more people aren't talking about it. Yes, House Plus Plant has one, and hers is so pretty. I would love to have one like hers, and it's just the contrast and how delicate it looks is just, it's so pretty. So next on my wish list is Anthurium argyrosachyum velvety. I think there's a regular one and then there's a velvety one, and I definitely want the velvety one. It is just so pretty, and again, that velvety, that texture, it's very dark, it has a very dramatic sinus, and it's just a very long leaf. I feel like it's a pretty unique looking plant. And some pictures show it darker and some show it more green. I like both. I think they're both just absolutely stunning and beautiful. I don't know if it depends on, you know, the parentage, or whether it depends on the light but that you give it, if that makes it darker or not, but it's just so pretty, and it looks like the leaves can get pretty large, and it doesn't look too gangly. Maybe it might be a little bit more on the gangly side, but I can't tell. It's very pretty. It kind of reminds me of, I'm reading the name of it, my other anthurium I have, Leucotricha lobum. It reminds me of that a little bit, maybe when the leaf shape is more young, but a velvety version of that. Yeah, and maybe you can see a little bit more of the veinage and everything. Or is veinage the right word? I don't know. You'll probably see that in the pictures what I'm talking about. But it's just so pretty. I would love to have this. It actually reminds me of, now that I have made that connection, it looks exactly like a velvety Anthurium Leucotricha lobum. That's crazy. I guess as the leaf matures more, they each start to look a little bit different, but when they're young, I think they look pretty dang similar. So next on my list is Alocasia heterophylla. And of course, this is another silvery one, but honestly, I like this one a lot, really because of the shape of the leaf. It almost is, it's like skinny at the top, and then it gets fat where the sinus would be, and then it gets skinny again. And I really like the look of that. And as it matures, the sinuses at the top, it almost looks like little bunny ears. And I don't know, I just think it's so cute. And for an alocasia, like, I feel like it's like more of a skinny leafed alocasia. So it's a little bit different than most, which are, I guess, a little bit fatter. And it's super long. Oh my gosh. It is so pretty. I'm trying to think, it looks like a fox face, like a skinny fox face almost with the little fox ears. It's beautiful. I don't know if anyone else can see that, but that's what I see. I think it is, the color is obviously freaking gorgeous too. I think that what really I like a lot about it is mainly the shape. I feel like there are a lot of silvery alocasias out there, and I do have the silver dragon, so I feel like I get that kind of silver kick that I want from my alocasia. But this leaf shape, especially as it matures, I think is just really cool and very unique and different. I would love to have that. I haven't seen this one at any of my local, places at my local nurseries or big box stores, but I have seen it on Ecuagenera, like as seedlings for like a pretty reasonable price. But I've never gotten an alocasia from Ecuagenera before, but maybe next time I do a purchase through Ecuagenera, maybe I'll try to get one of these if they still have them. Okay. Oh, this one's really cool. Let me look it up for you. So this one is Senecio haworthii, if I'm saying that correctly. I think it's in just like kind of a succulent. Yeah, like, I don't think it's anything that's too hard to get hold of. I don't know, maybe it is. But I think it is gorgeous. It's this like ghost white color, and it almost looks like powder. It almost looks like there's a layer of powder on it, like powdered donuts or something like that. It is different than what I feel like I have a haworthia, and maybe I only have one. I have like the typical haworthia, and I feel like it's different than that one. It's less like sharp and pointy. It looks more like little bubbles. What's the right word? I can't think of the right word, but it looks more succulent to me, more succulent like, and it almost looks like it might be a little bit fuzzy. But yeah, this plant looks almost like it's got some fuzz to it, so I guess I have a theme for the year. Silvery, fuzzy plants. I'm okay with that. One more of my wishlist plants. This plant I think is really cool too. So this is a Snowdrop cactus, and it kind of reminds me of a Christmas cactus a little bit, but I feel like it almost like trails more easily, and the little prongs of the Christmas cactus are more elongated on this one. And it like almost is flappy or strappy, like a plitiform or something. And I imagine it gets its name because of the flowers that are on it, because it's the only thing that's like snowy about it. But I just think this is a really cool looking plant, and I've never seen this plant anywhere. And maybe, like I said earlier, maybe I live under a rock and this is the common plant that everyone knows about. But I don't think I've seen it, and maybe I have seen it and thought it was a Christmas cactus. But I think it's really, 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 really pretty, and I love the way it trails. And it looks like they can get pretty long. So I think this is a really cool plant. I would love to have it in my collection. I would honestly love to have any of these plants in my collection. Again, I don't know what the price point is on that one. I haven't really looked into buying it online, and I haven't seen it at any of my local nurseries unless I mistook it for a different plant. But I also was never really looking out for it, so maybe I'll see it now. I would be stoked to get any one of these plants added to my collection in the year of 2023. I feel it's pretty unlikely that I'm going to get all of them, really mainly just because the ones I chose were all pretty rare and higher on the price point list. So some of them I would be really shocked if I got in my collection, at least this year. So with that, I hope maybe I introduced you to some new plants, or maybe you have some similar type of plants, or maybe some good substitutes. If you know any good substitutes for like the rare plants I included that are more expensive, and something that looks maybe a little similar to it that I could swap out that's more affordable and more easy to come by, that would be awesome. But let me know if any of these plants are on your wish list also. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.